All righty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It's your boy Dave coming back at you live. It is a happy Thursday. Hope you guys have fantastic sleep and looking for another brand new trading day with you guys this morning. Let's get started with our market news. We got stocks fell yesterday as investors worried about persistent inflation after the latest release of minutes from the Federal Reserve's most recent meeting. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 201.95 points, or 0.51%, and had its worst session of the month. The S&P 500, meanwhile, fell 0.27%, and the Nasdaq Composite slipped 0.18%. But things were looking up this morning so far, as futures tied to all three indexes were higher, okay, with the Nasdaq 100 futures climbing 0.8% as Wall Street rode the momentum from market bellwether NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA was a big news yesterday, everyone that were in, and it's got huge run up, and everyone was celebrating. So obviously that really boosted the Nasdaq, and also therefore for the futures NQ trade here, for those that have been trading. I mean, it's just been making a nice run up so far. This morning, at least, there's just been, yeah. So with that being said, let's get into the these little penny stock first, get it out of the way, and then we'll jump into everything else here. Obviously, yes, it is a lot of micro penny stocks, more than usual this week. So just keep that in mind. Literally on our watch list, you don't really have a whole lot of my favorite range stocks, meaning 3 to 5 range this morning. We got a lot of these micro pennies, and then ONMD. Let's talk about this. This is the number one gainer right now, and so far has been the best trade of the morning. Guys, you gotta need to get up a little bit early for these pre-market big movers, okay? And I know a lot of you guys are looking for more active trades after the market opens, but folks, you can't force it. Everything's running up here in pre-market, and everyone's just dumping, and then you might get one or two decent trades at the market opening. So a lot of the good big meat of the move is happening. The early bird is getting the worm, folks. So please, I know some of you guys are like, hey Dave, why is it slow? It's not slow. It's you're getting 200% runners. You just have to be up a little bit early and ride the wave, and that's what the theme has been right now, right? So 67 cents, folks, all the way up to 165. Do the math. That's a lot of profits that you could have made if you got at least some slice of the pie along the way. And then second play here looks like we have a 150 here right now. So 150 just broke through and just hit about 159. So that's not exactly what we want to see, because we want to break out of that lower highs and break above that 165 for us to continue the momentum higher. I do have lines all the way up to 218. So first line is going to be $2 and then 218. So we do have more room here on ONMD. So I look forward to seeing a little bit of pullback right now. And then hopefully we get that nice support holding around this 50 EMA. Okay, and then right now, actually, if you look back, the hero EMA for this stock has been literally the 25 EMA. We have not been able to go, get a Heikin Ashi candlestick cracking below 25. So right now we're, holding that area, and hopefully at the market opening, we start getting the buyers coming back in. So that's what I'll be watching. 50 EMA is the last EMA that I'll be really looking for, because otherwise, most likely it'll come all the way down to the 117 VWAP, which is not what I want to see. You don't want to be riding it all the way down there from the 150. All right, other than that, real quick, looking into the ONMD company. This is a USA healthcare company, 12 million flow, so relatively lower flow stocks though. It reported greater than 5-fold expansion of IRWD network and platform. So with that press release this morning, the stock just started getting a lot of volume and just started exploding. So we traded about 55 million volume so far. On average, it only trades at 69,000. So definitely 10x is average volume already. So that's a big one to keep your eyes on for the rest of the day. Okay. Again, a lot of stocks have been coming out with offerings. So, double check on the, the filings and all that still kind of, when you start seeing that wave again, you want to kind of get back into, getting the habit of watching the filings. I know it's been a while, the past several months, where we haven't seen a lot of offerings, but when you start seeing some patterns again, you want to check up on it. ONMD, you don't really have to worry about an offering, but they do probably need cash, but I don't think they're going to need to offer. So that's just my personal 2 cents. Next stock is CYTO here. Moving forward, we got the top fourth gainer here, 180 203 is where it's trading at. So it looks like there was a play for 207. You see how there's all these wicks here on the Higinashi. We don't have a full body closing above this 207. So please make sure you guys are paying attention and make sure that these candlesticks are closing right now. There's not a whole lot of stocks where they're really getting that confirmation breakout. So you really need to keep that in mind and be patient. I know a lot of you guys want to keep trading more and more, but during these times when markets, being crazy, you have to be a little bit calm down and wait for the confirmation breakout. So we'll be waiting for CYTO again. If it does come back on up for the 207 right now, it's obviously what, making lower highs and lower lows. So make sure you guys are watching your lines and don't and if you're still holding, please don't be that guy or gal just dumping it all the way down to the support level only for it to come straight back on up. So if you're the one of those traders that keeps dumping at the low of the low, and then an hour later pops back up, maybe you need to change your strategy. Market is open. Didn't get to go down all the lists of the watch list, but it really doesn't matter because these are all these micro pennies. The rest are just doesn't really have a whole lot of news. I put TOVX because this one does have news because they got an FDA grant news. So if you see here, there was a play for 42. So right now we need this candle break at 42. We should be able to see this thing popping up at least towards the VWAP. So I'm going to be watching with that. NQ for my futures traders. We're seeing a nice pullback after hitting that deviation 2 line right here, or deviation 1 line. Okay, so what's going on? Well, after running up so much at the market opening, we always talk about this. When it's running up, and market opening, be ready as when it starts cracking the trend, get on that nice mudslide down. All right, let's see what else is going on here real quick. I just think this week is a week where you have to really be patient. Lacking patience on these trades this week is going to cost you a bit. So right now we're getting a major pullback here on NQ. Goodness gracious, right back down to the VWAP. Oh my goodness, that is a wild move down there. That is just an absolute tear down. Okay, back to the VWAP, 50 EMA area. I mean, be smart if you're looking to keep shorting. Make sure this area starts cracking again. Now you got about 3 minutes and 12 seconds. I think at this rate, this just might potentially go down to the 200 if this VWAP cracks. But I let it kind of pop back up a little if it can. Major dump all the way down to the 50 EMA now on the 15-minute chart. And now we're halfway through before the 200 EMA. Holy moly. So hopefully you guys were not still holding long here on NQ, which a lot of greed traders still do, and they don't put their stops. And then this is what happens. They know that the trend is going against them, and they're still, dollar cost averaging when it's clearly going to be a big drop after a huge run up here. Okay, so wow, look at how the range between the deviation 1 line is huge. So right now I think we're kind of solidifying here a little bit. I'm watching the 15-minute chart on NQ here, the 50 EMA. Right now, I think the stock market, the stocks this morning, it's gonna be a bit slow based on what I've been seeing. I think CYTO is gonna offer one more pop, so be on the lookout for CYTO. ZCAR is looking pretty good. If you are paying attention on ZCAR, I believe if you go back to the Prosperity Trades channel, we had a play for 50 cents, but it didn't get a Heikinashi, so probably better to watch for a VWAP roll here. Okay, so CYTO, like I said, don't dump it here when you see clearly the trend line area. That's a bottom area you want to be buying. So, you want to see that bounds up towards this mark here, and then we got to break through. This most likely traders are going to sell into this line, but we need to get more buyers coming in, and CYTO could get a nice big run up. All right, so NQ, we got 54 seconds left on this. So far, I got down to 18,931. Whew. Lordy Lord. What a start to the day. Okay, 18 seconds. I want to see how the next candle looks. Obviously going to be a lower high still. This opening market candle here was nasty. That was like what? Man, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, our size all the way down here, but I think we're yeah, with the R side plunging like this, we probably just should test down to the 200, I say. Okay, CYTO, you see how it kind of bounced on up here? We need to get that 208 area breaking here. That's the candle break line. You see how I said buyers are going to come by here and they got to sell into this line right there? We need to have seen more buyers. Right now, there's not a whole lot of, bullish buyers at the moment here in the pennies this morning. The CITO got rejected. A lot of stocks right now are kind of a little bit on the downside here. NQ made a lower low. Very oversold now. Technically, if we're going based on the deviation plays, eventually, yes, based on just taking turns, the bulls, what did I just click, by the way? That changed something. Anyway, so the bulls should get, since bulls got it, the bears should try to get their pink devil. It's like I zoomed out. What did I click? Is that what I did? Oh, yeah, no, that's not what we want. No, no, no. All right, there we go. Okay, so this candle still has 2 minutes and 50 seconds. VWAP is going to be now the resistance. If we close below this on this candle next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, it should make another new low here. So be smart. Overall, I would just now kind of wait for the next candle since we had the opportunity to just reshort it at when it popped back up above the VWAP there. I would still really focus on ONMD because ONMD is, got down to that VWAP level. So this VWAP really needs to hold. Otherwise, I mean, it's already pretty bearish right now. So I think, unfortunately, with this death cross happening, the only saving grace right now is this VWAP roll here to really pop. They need to really pop it up here. Somebody needs to smash it up here, all the way up, back up. And we have still all this room here on the daily. So don't forget about that. We still have a lot of room here on the daily still. So I don't think it's completely done yet, but we definitely don't want to see this thing going below VWAP. Okay. Yeah, right now everything's kind of dying. I think a lot of pullbacks are going to need to be happening. Um, let's see. Let's go back to CYTO real quick. Yeah, everyone's just kind of staying tight until we're waiting for that next move. Okay, 25 more seconds on this candle. I also like CYTO because look at the room it still has. We just need to pierce through this 206 solid, the 207 line. And we do have like all this room, 263, 330, you know what I mean? Like it's got room. So you have to be a little patient, let it kind of cook. CYTO, watch for the VWAP roll. So you want to see that combination on CYTO, a VWAP roll, okay? Plus 207 candle break is key for this to fly. Okay, so just gonna give you a heads up. I smell money here on CYTO if we can get this thing really pushing on up. We can't keep getting 228 is up pull right now at the moment. I'd like to see a halt up here, actually start getting some attention from these other guys. Gotta get this VWAP roll, build this. Gotta push out of this area here. I'd like to see that nice push on up here. It'll be great. Okay, so like I said, NQ just made a new low of the day again. So looking good here on the short still. We're almost getting to that death cross mode. So I think based on the deviation theory, we're probably gonna get down here next. So not a whole lot of hope for the bulls at the moment. Which I mean, come on, let's be real. With Nvidia, I mean they ate this up. People for the bulls, that is not every bull, but all right. CITL 206, 207 here. We gotta get through this line. Okay, come on, man. Can we can we go? Oh, so another new low here, lower highs and lower lows. Folks are just trying to take this puppy down all the way to the La La Land. Yeah, I think they're gonna want 18,700. 18,700s or 18,870s. Okay, CYTO, we got to stop playing this game here. We got to push up, buddy. 240 is an up halt now. Pay attention here, folks. All eyes on CYTO at the moment here. We got to close above this line here in the next 30 seconds. 2.40. If we can just halt up over there, that'd be amazing. Be good to see some limit buy orders here, getting some buys at $2. So hold to that support here. We can kind of hold it up because we don't want this. We want to keep now building this higher lows here. We got a great opportunity. It's all about learning how to paint the picture correctly here, folks, in the chart so that other people can see that, hey, it's looking bullish. All right. And people will start seeing it, and you know, they gotta start seeing it to believe it. A lot of folks, you know, don't have a lot of, they gotta see it to believe it here. Come on, we gotta hold this VWAP here, man. 195. Nice higher low still. We got another 25 seconds. We're still not really quite getting that full body candle yet. So gonna let one more candle here to establish itself here. You know, CYTO traded 17 million in volume today. So, you know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Whew, nasty on NQ. NQ just got another flush down. They're making lower highs and lower lows. It should be, just don't get caught up though. Don't get caught in that FOMO on the way down. So if you short it here and then it gets whipped back up, you're gonna be liquidated. That's how people blow up their accounts. You know, it's a not easy to short, I mean, but then you try to keep playing. So that's why you have to like be smart and not overtrade, maybe size down if you already are up nicely here from the pre-market. Still putting up the effort here on CYTO. We got a doji. We need this candlestick right here, right in the next 15 seconds. We can hold above 204. That'll be great. We did. Oh, come on now. We're still seeing dojis. There's 3 dojis now. So we gotta go going here. I wouldn't risk it much below VWAP. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start all over again. So this VWAP right here, 195, right? We really want to see it hold. Otherwise, you know, we still have this lower low area here. So I'm hoping the bulls get something here on the stock side. It's a little bit dry though, market opening for the stocks. $245 is still showing as uphold now. They bumped up by 5 cents. Yeah, there's nothing else right now. We're pretty sad here. Mm. Okay. Hey, you know, for a 2 million in flow, this sure is taking a sweet time. But hey, they say great things take time. So hopefully this is going to be that nice quote to use here. So you see how we're trying to push on up here? Look at the daily chart, bro. People need to tell them, look at the daily chart. It's got potential. Let's be just a little bit more patient, folks, since we already talked about how there's a new high today. Come on, let's get the momentum ball rolling. 247 up, Paul, folks. All eyes on CYTO. Itsy bitsy spider. Well, higher and higher, right? I don't think that's the lyric, but make sure you lock in a little bit. There's always going to be some sellers along the way. Expect that, especially on a slower day. And as long as we kind of hold out the higher lows, then we can continue. So we're getting a little pullback from the what pre-market high at 224. So 224 is a pre-market high. We got to break through that. Okay, so CYTO 195 VWAP support 224 PM high / new high today needs to break for us to continue higher. We got this, folks. I know as long as the bulls don't screw it up, we got this. 250 next up pulp. They're raising the bars a bit higher. 253 now. 224. Get it out of the way, guys. We don't want to see a triple top here. We got more room. We got 233 and 250 line next. There's a new high of the day. 230. First PT hit. Lock something in, and then hold the rest for the gold. Put your stops up higher now so that you're guaranteed for results and profit. That's how we do it every single day. NQ, just let it keep drowning down the toilet, deviation to deviation. Let it go to the gulag. You know the drill. 257 up pulp now here on CYTO. Pay attention, folks. Money's here. Okay, so we're coming down to the pink deadline on the NQ. Make sure you are, if you're trading both like me, take those profits along the way so you can now focus more on this CYTO. This thing is starting to cook. So let's go ahead and get this trend line up. Now we got a 224. We can use that as support. Remember, I think I told you 233 line I have here as well from the past. So 233. I like to see an up halt. I really want to see this thing getting halted today on CYTO. 262 now the up halt, folks. 262 right now on CYTO. 262 up halt now. So I like the way it's starting to paint because what did I say my max PT is? I mean, that's up there, but we can do it as long as it's painting still nicely. Just always make sure you lock something in so that you have this plan of, okay, as long as it's building higher lows, I must have my stops set higher and higher appropriately. So that way I am insured to make sure that even if it does come down, I am out with profits. So, okay. Setting up for another new high today. 265 up pulp next. There ain't nothing running except for CYTO, folks. We were right on the money. Okay, everyone else is out there scattering, and now they're starting to come in. We've got it in here. 267 now up, Paul. We're raising up. I'm going to keep updating you guys. Not a single red Heiken Ashi candlestick right now at the moment. This was a great area here. We're setting up 207. Boom. We need to do the same thing here if it doesn't go at the 10 EMA bull flag. So if it doesn't break out here, that is like to see it though without a 10 EMA bull flag. Or just go straight to it. What's the next line here? 260. Is that correct? I think I have a 250 and then all the way up to 275 to 290. And then ultimate target is that 330. area, 330s. Okay, so you can see here 14 EMA did cross below the 50 EMA, so that is on the death cross side. 233 candle break. I'm gonna mention it here next. 224 support. Always update your support levels and your resistance. Current support and 2.33 candle break resistance line next. Okay, so we're continuously going down, further plunging here on NQ. I would not try to catch a falling knife after a major pump. I would expect a very nice continued drop.
FIHL.
Okay, we're starting to see some couple little pullback to the 10 EMA. This is what I'm talking about here. We need to expect potential 10 EMA bull flag here next if we want to continue on CYTO. And last is now the VWAP is now at 208. So VWAP is up, so that's good to 209 now. So CYTO VWAP now at 209 for the at the moment. So I'm gonna make sure we don't really crack that area there. For the DAS is 207, but I'll update it to 207 at the moment. So when you see a little bit of a pullback after hitting that, expect to see the buyers come back in again at 207 with tight stop, with $2 being your whole dollar resistance or support, excuse me. Okay, so just within this range here, this area is fine. Just need to keep on this. I mentioned the 25 EMA has been, well, not this one. What was the other one with the 25 EMA? I think it was ONMD, yeah. ONMD, Hero EMA was 25 EMA. So the moment 25 EMA cracked, look at what happened to ONMD, just been straight all the way down to 200. So that's why you gotta really pay attention to these
FIHL.
oh wow, NQ is just not stopping. Another drop. Okay, so what do you do now on CYTO? Well, if you're looking for another run, we got down to the VWAP, like I said, the 207. Did you see that? 207 area here. Why 207? Because it aligned with the first play on CYTO at 207. So that area is now support. So you always want to use your previous resistance as your support. So when you see that upper trend line hit, take your lock-in profits, wait for the pullback, and then you can retry here again with the tight stop. And that way, even if you do end up getting stopped out, make sure that you're not, giving all your gains back. The name of the game here isn't like to squeeze out every little gains. Like it's just, it's all about making sure that, what, the risk management is there. Sometimes risk management can be tricky. All depends on certain days and also certain stocks that you do trade. But as long as you kind of know the basic support resistance lines, you should be able to get a nice read on, okay, well, I'm not going to risk more than this area of support. Why would I keep risking if the support cracks, right? Why do people keep holding when support cracks? Well, because they start smoking that hopium, the hope of this idea that what if, just what if it does go up? What if a miracle does happen and it does go up? Instead of thinking about, well, I could lose big if the support cracks. So wait for this confirmation. So you have to wait for the confirmation also on the cracks. Just like on the breakouts, guys, on the Heikin-Ashi, a lot of folks get faked out, faked by getting stopped out. So people think, oh, I saw it drop down to 205, Dave. I'm gonna stop out. Well, it's the art of trading, right? That's why a lot of times I don't, you know, I do more manual stop losses, mental stop losses, excuse me, which that comes after having, a nice build up on your discipline. A lot of folks will tell you to have hard stops. Why? Because most people aren't disciplined. So yes, majority of people are going to have stops, which is the right thing to do in the beginning. And from time to time, personally for me, I like to have my mental stops because a lot of times my stops get hit and then only think to get it moving back up. So it's very kind of tricky sometimes where you see these wicks kind of come down a few points and then they grab the good market maker see all your stops as well. So that's why I'm trying to make sure you guys, it's not a lot of manipulations in this game. So you got to make sure you don't fall for them. Right now, we're not getting that 10 EMA bull flag here. We got to get this thing going. If this makes another lower low, goes below 205, that's going to be it for me for now. So we need to bounce one more time here because we don't want to lose the momentum. Otherwise, the momentum is going to get started all over again at another bottom of the barrel again. So a couple of you guys are watching ONMD again, which yes, it is testing the VWAP. So it needs to do a VWAP roll. So body here has been looking like it's holding support, which I think it's fair. The bulls, it's their turn, sort of, in my opinion. That's a great balance already from the 50, what is that, 45 to already 80. So if we can push it up just a little bit more towards the 90 mark there, that'll be great. But okay, after I'll talk about it after I see if this 207 holds or not on CYTO. Right now, it looks a little tough. So I'd rather wait now for this to get this wedging back up on up, seeing that the VWAP holds. But right now, it's cracking. So I think now we're starting to see potentially ONMD maybe get some juice. Though, but wait, watch for the Heikin-Ashi body on CYTO. It didn't crack it because the 50 EMA is still there. So it could be a wick down to the 50 EMA on CYTO with the body holding the 207 still. So I have a couple things you got to watch out for here. 34 million volume on CYTO from 17 million volume that we just talked about like a few minutes ago. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, unfortunately, ONMD, this was just, I mean, look at this, guys. We went from 67 all the way up to 165. This right here, I mean, it's made a lower high, this breakout area here, it needed to get that new high today, and when it doesn't do that, it's creating a lower high, and therefore it's going to create a lower low, dump it all the way down because you got a short window for it to go. Because it's just been running up all pre-market, and then opening, it had that short window to go up, not go down, and then it goes to 200 and then starts going, which it could, but the chances are that we're gonna have another 150 strong resistance that we gotta pierce through. So okay, CYTO back bouncing up to 207, not all over yet. It's setting back up nicely here. Let's see that body held here. See, that's what I'm talking about. As well as you see the wicks into the resistance lines, you'll also see it on the support side as well. Okay. ONMD is actually pumping on up, but will it break 150? That's the question here. I like to see it, obviously, and hit the PT that on the second round that was a little short. The good news about ONMD is that we do have that room on the daily. So we're gonna have to wait for the unhalt here at 10:09, 59 seconds. 10:09, 59 seconds. So be on the lookout for that. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna put a line here on NQ here because we need to start establishing support. If we start building support around above 18,869 here, then we could see a nice run up towards that 14 May. That's gonna be the next target level for the bulls. So right now, bulls are doing a pretty decent job here, creating a little bit of a higher low here, and then we just need to kind of wedge out of kind of this area here. If we can do that and hold the support, and we should be able to get a nice move on up to the next leg up. So right now RSI is cooking on up, which is nice to see. And yeah. So it's looking pretty good here. Be great to see a nice wedge up to the 14 minute. It's got to at one point. So CYTO is making lower highs. I think the attention is moving towards ONMD now. So I would just start kind of changing your gear. This is not looking as good now. 207 held, but it got stopped out. It just got blocked at 225 line, 224 line there. So I would wait until ONMD starts dying later because see the herd is shifting. I will still watch CYTO, right, for a different opportunity, but right now we have a good shot that this OMD might be the next show stealer. We're so oversold here. We're so oversold here, man. I mean, it's to be expected because the bulls were so overbought for a while as well. So I'm hoping that the bears are done and the bulls are able to pop back out of the 30 oversold zone here. But it seems like right now we're not being able to hold that support about 18,869. You can see here's wick. So I'm waiting for that to build a candle. These a lot of times with on the 5-minute chart, you just have to be patient. Remember, just the idea of there's 12 5-minute candlesticks in 1 hour. So for me, the way I think is I'm not going to take all 12 shots because there's going to be certain candle 5-minute time frame that I just don't like or that I'm not sure that I want to participate. So, you know, ain't nobody going to force me to get in. Sometimes I'm going to skip that 5-minute candle. Like, for example, this right here, I rather would have waited for this to close above and then just do a nice higher low. And you have a lot more higher chance for this to, you know, get up higher and higher for you to ride that next leg up. Now, I'm not saying this is done yet because it's still, you know, holding out that deviation 1 line, but right now you can clearly see the bulls are just not quite yet, or the bears are still, you know, working at the moment. But I think, you know, a little bit, few more minutes, we should be able to pop back up here on NQ. Because I mean, right now, NASDAQ's still kind of in the green. I'm hoping that we go recover a bit more. Okie dokes, we got about 1 minute here before ONMD gets unhalted. Okay, there we go. I think we're starting to see a little bit more juice action here. I'd rather be more bullish now on NQ. That's just personally me because we've already hit these low I mean, we've hit so low here that your chances are it's a lower risk level here. So come on, let's push on up here on NQ. We've got to break above this previous candle here at 80 and then should go to 90. back to 18,900 to the 18, wherever the 14 is going to be at that point. We're still having this confirmation wait. 15 more seconds, wait for the next candle. Don't get in at that, you know, don't get in when you don't have a whole lot of time left on that candle. There we go. See how we're okay. On the unhalted, we're at 166 up halt now. Beautiful on NQ, looking great. That's doing that nice move on up. I like that look right there right now. 166 right now here. This should be getting halted up unless they raise it up again. But I think it is going to stick. Nope, not yet. 166 right now is that area which we saw as PM high. So we're about to get down halting at 143. We just couldn't get above that 160, that 166 line there. 143 down halt. Oh, okay. Wow. That's okay though, because it is still higher lows, and you need to make sure that it doesn't crack this line though. But you know, pretty smart for you to look for that quick 150 to 165, which is what I originally wanted to see. So we just did hit that. So congrats if you were able to, you know, dollar cost average down towards that 200 there on CYONMD. I mean, that one and CYTO obviously were the top two names. So no surprises there. NQ looking great. So you see how after this confirmed close above, you see that body, and then this opened up higher. This is where you go ahead and enter. You see that 71 right there. As soon as you enter, you got a 18,900. Like I said, it was going to go up towards, and then you got bonus money wherever the 14 is going to be. So that was what, an easy 20-point move on up from actually a 30-point move on up. Excuse me. So I mean, you know, I just do the same thing as I do from stocks to the futures, and make your money and then get out. Now, the next area we need to draw a line is that 18,900 line, right? That's the whole number area. So we got to establish support there as well if we want to see that bonus cherry on top towards 14 EMA. But you got to do the math here. Okay, how much range does it have? We still have about 20 points, but how much longer until, because right now 14 EMA is curling down. So we need to stop. We need to see the 14 EMA start to kind of like make a hill a little bit and then start curling up. Right now, we just crossed below the VWAP and starting to crash below the 200. So we're getting pretty close. So the range is getting a little bit more thinner. Beautiful. So on a day like today, folks, is it better to lock in profits when you see the first PT hit? Yes or no? Probably. Now, it's a different case if you're in pre-market, because pre-market, you got all this time. You're in before all the herd. Not everybody is dedicated to what? Wake up in the morning. Does that make sense? So the earlier birds already start loading up, and then other little birdies flocking in, and then they support the stock volume up, and then you start locking in your gains, securing the bag, right? Whatever you want to call it, lock it in, right? And then what? You know, at the market opening, then you can review the areas that was getting rejected at and look for that re-break, and then go for a quick scalp and not get more greedier at the market opening. So, I mean, yeah, there's going to be more plays, you know, in the pre-market. There's just more setups, early, you know, better setups to get in early. Because right now, look, at the market opening, we didn't even have one on the stock side alert wise. Because now once you see the previous lines, all you got to do is just use that line there. You know what I mean? Like CYTO at 9:06 a.m., like 25 minutes before market opened on up, you had a play for 206 or 207, right? And 207 ran up all the way up to 247, new high of the day. pull all the way back down. Use that 207 line as support, and then sell into the next line. How do you know that this is what's going to be the next line? Well, the pre-market high. Use a 224 as a pre-market high. Make that quick cent, and then wait for a new entry at the breakout of the 224, and then go step by step, just like how we do here in futures, right? Deviation one line to the next line. This line becomes support. Next line to the 18,900. This line becomes support. Move on up towards these EMAs. This is going to be a very strong resistance area. Why? Because you got the 14 EMA, 200, and the VWAP all clustered together, along with this line around 18,928. So kind of do the math. All right. So like, how much do you want to wait until it gets all the way? I mean, it's up to you. Maybe you want to sell at, just go for 10 points from 18,900 to 18,910. Right now, I'm watching for the 14 EMA to see if it's gonna start becoming flat here, and if we get curled up more, then we got more room to run. But right now, 18,900 is psychologically a whole number resistance. So, all right, when is OMD gonna get unhalted? Right now. So it's okay, not too shabby right now. We're still holding the 50 EMA. I've got a bounce here, the 10 EMA. Still holding the 10 EMA. Buyers to come in though. 149 up halt, 119 down halt. So 149 and 119. Okay, looking good. Now that we're breaking 18,900, we're coming up to 18,910. Nice easy 10-point move there towards the 14 EMA, and then the cherry on top to these lines here. This line breaks, we go all the way up here, line to line, and then deviation one line again. Now, a couple of you guys were asking me about like, hey man, like what's going on in terms of the, what do you call it? The I forgot what I was gonna say. We got 18,900 and then 18,928. So a lot of traders want to lock in around that 14 EMA. You see that pull back there again on NQ. Okay. We got a little new BCG in town. Got some volume and halted. So We'll see. This one looks more like a good short opportunity. You know, it's just getting so toppy. It has a little bit more room left, but I would just kind of be on the lookout for a potential short on this one. Just you got maybe up towards 8. You know, I don't think I need to look into what's going on in BCG. Let me go down the list one more time. Z card, no dead, CYTO. Still holding out above the 200. There might be an opportunity now that OMD came back down. People might want to restart back up on the CYTO. Okay, so we hit the 14 EMA and then back down. Just now sitting on hands, waiting for the next setup, guys, because things are not presenting any opportunities at this time. So giving it a couple more minutes, around 10:30. Okay, CYTO waiting for the. We have a line at 190. Or no, yeah, 190, and then I have a line at 195, but let's do a 190 here. 195 was a VWAP earlier. Now it's not the case because now it's at 208.
RX. STL. Double check. Okay, all.
Okay, so NQ getting shorter from the 14 EMA, cracked that trend line, and it's making lower highs now. So ATR, like I said, today, expect a much higher ATR today than yesterday. I said Thursday is when the 8:30, the initial jobless claims come out, then we're gonna get a nice range. So we're well above. I mean, we were a lot higher, but we were 26 now. So for several days we've been below 15. Now we're at 26, so that's good. You know, we got more flowing day today. So right now at the moment, though, we're just kind of in between now, support at 18,669. So buyers need to come back in here, otherwise we're gonna get testing the deviation one line again. Right now, waiting for NQ to build support around this 18,869 line, and then start seeing if it's gonna wedge out, waiting for this RSI to see if it's gonna curl up again, or if it curls down, then we're gonna go in this oversold territory once again. I mean, I think right now NASDAQ's still holding up in the green, so I think NQ is doing all right. You know, trying to hold this area here. You know, so hopefully we wedge out one more time to this line again, to 18,900 mark. Because what the bulls need is a clear of the 18,900s, so that we're in the 18,900s, and we can have another 100-point move towards 19,000. Okay, we got CYTO starting to blossom again from 190 to breaking back at 207. You guys know the drill. I do want to see that 207 line again. So let's kind of keep our eyes peeled on the CYTO area there. So watch that 207 line for round number 2. If we get a successful VWAP roll plus 207 candle break, this should give us an opportunity for the bulls to pop back up today. NQ started to wedge out a little bit. You see how the RSI curled up. So bulls are still trying to put up an effort, so we'll see. Going back down to the Prosperity Trace channel. We had a play for TLBX that the 42-cent didn't break yet. ASNS, which that didn't break either. So probably gonna have to retract those for now. Same thing with Zcar, so if it, yeah, not gonna wait till then. So I think we just need to focus on the CYTO and ONMD later today. Okay, waiting for that 207 here, being patient. Back to 14 on NQ. Bull steadily moving back it up. Pretty much the ONMD and CYTO day. Okay, bulls are gonna need to start really pushing through the 14 EMA here, otherwise you guys know the drill. So markets on the NASDAQ moving up higher, which is good to see. Okay, NQ watching out a little bit more. This time we need to really break out of this zone here. All right, I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute stretch break, and then we'll be back for the 10 minutes till or 20 minutes till 11 a.m. river dip time. So I'll be right back.
INOD GPCR KLG FRZA 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 AGR IMPP LDI Turn VITL VFS BCAT NNOX NNOX INOD STVN KLG GPCR AGR BCAT BCAT VFS ACIU MD AGR ACIU MGRX KLG TNGX GPCR CSLR GCT TMCI OM FRZA CMTL AGAN GPCR INOD MGRX CGEN, CSLR, FGEN, LPSN, LDI, CGEN, OM, GRWG, AGAN, CMTL, INOD, TMCI, GCT, KLG,
Alrighty, guys. So we are here just 18 minutes before 11 a.m. or the dip time. We're still waiting on a couple volume coming in here on CYTO at 207 break, the VWAP out roll. And Q, like I said, is looking good for the bulls with the RSI pinching up higher with the 14MA starting to make a hill and starting to curl up. We're still yet needing the candle breaking and stabilizing above 14MA, so we start riding that 14MA blue magic carpet ride. But right now, still having a little bit of resistance there. Let me know if you guys can see any other stocks. Looks like we have VB Meller asking Dave, can I look at FFIE and let me know my thoughts? Let's see, FFIE, our good old meme stock runner. Okay, so just looking at it right now, we have clearly a resistance line at 133. So we need a candle break at 133 here on FFIE for us to start cooking. Right now, it is making a little bit of a higher low after that drop down to the 200, and then bounced again at the 89 EMA to the 133 resistance. Higher day has been 147. If you look at the daily chart here, if we break through that mark, we do have more room to run. So I would really pay attention to 133 to the high of the day at 147, 147 to. So let's just focus first on the 133 line. So FFIE, worth watching for a 1.33 candle break line. That's the first line you need to look for. Okay, and then you want to just make sure that this trend line, this higher low support continues. Does that make sense, VB Miller? Or does it not make any sense? Let me know. So 129, I wouldn't even risk more below 129. This is a tight area here. FFIE 1.29 support, 1.33 candle break resistance to high of the day at 1.47. Okay. And then And then I would say, and then 1.153 to 19. What is this? I mean, it does have room there, but so I'll just mention that you want to see that small, this low risk, 133 candle break, 129 support, 147 high of day. From there, wait for the 153, and then you got a lot of room to run from there. So that's what I would look for. That 153 is going to be the candle break line again. Okay. Okay, see how we're starting to get a little bit more cook on up. 159 is the up call right now. I like it when you guys bring up something like this and then it has a good setup, then you just go and tap it and go for it. 159 up call still. Up 22% on SSR, 126 million volume. That's nice. Yeah, let me know what you guys like, and then I'll join in. I'll chip in. So now you generally want to see 133 become support now, right? With the 129 still being the bottom support. So. Alrighty.
Okay, hello. Peso. LPSN. SLR. Peso. SLR. CISS.
Okay, we just got a little bit of 10 minutes left. Too strong today on NQ with the 14 EMA here.
SLR.
Probably should have extended this line here. When I get it.
PLA.
Line here. Okay, so coming back down to the pink deviation line for Mr. NQ, while FFIE is the one right now that we have our eyes on here. We're still in 133, 129 is still holding. I will mention at this point, besides FFIE, 3 stocks to watch for a VWAP roll later today. Are ONMD, CYTO, and then I'm gonna say ZCAR just in case. So those 3, I would just be on the lookout if you're sticking around.
ISS.